Falcon here. This looks like it's in really great condition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has all of its original parts. It has the radar dish, the gun, the cockpit. I don't have batteries in it, but it takes the 2C batteries, and it has the, you press the button and it has the sound like it's flying through space. But yeah, it is one of my original toys that I had when I was younger.
This was one of your originals then?
Yeah.
How did it stay in such good condition if you were...
I took really good care of my toys. Every time that I would get ready to play with something, I made sure that when I was done with it, I would put it back on the shelf.
Did you know that it'd be worth some money someday, or why was that?
No, I just like Star Wars, and I just knew that if I got something, I wanted to keep it because I liked it, that much. I wasn't going to destroy it. My older brother also collected Star Wars there for a short time in the late 70s, early 80s, and that's why I have some duplicates. I have some duplicate TIE fighters and some duplicate X-Wings and duplicate land speeders, because my brother was into Star Wars, and then he kind of grew out of that phase, and I was able to keep it going.
Because I think that's a different attitude. I mean, that might be the collector's attitude, even at that young age, to preserve the things you have. Like, I know that when I had that, I wasn't even thinking twice about throwing it, pretending it was flying. Like, I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
So you were conscious at a young age that you might want to keep these things.
Yeah, exactly. Because I liked my toys. I mean, yeah. I liked it, and that was the way with all my toys. It's just that from 1978 onward, when they had Star Wars toys being manufactured up to 1985, that's all I remember ever getting from every holiday, whether it be Easter, my birthday, Christmas, whatever. Mm-hmm. I would always get Star Wars toys. That's what I always asked for. That's what I always got.
Let's just talk for 1 second about dollar values. Like, if somebody came across this kind of thing at a yard sale or something, what is the Millennium Falcon in today? What is that kind of thing worth?
Loose.
Outside the box.
Outside the box.
But in great condition, like you.
If it has all of its pieces, has the turret as the back piece, still intact. The radar gun is, or the radar dish is one of the easiest things to be lost, as well as the cockpit cover. That particular item right there would sell upwards of maybe $100, $150.
And in a box?
In a box, you're probably looking at $200 to $250 for the Falcon, just because that was a ship that was so recognizable in the Star Wars universe. It's a very high demand, and also it depends on what box the Millennium Falcon comes in. Because it came in a Star Wars box, it came in an Empire box, and it also came in a Return of the Jedi box.
Wow. Was it the same thing?
It was the exact same ship, same mold, didn't do anything different, same decals. The packaging was different.
Nice.
From Return of the Jedi, if I remember how to pop the wings open. There it is. I think. Maybe not. Anyway, the wings come apart, and what's neat about this ship is no matter how you turn it, the pilot always stays, facing you. It turns around. And again, it was one of those ships in 1983 that was a little bit more costly because they were making the toys a little bit better quality than they did back in '77. A little bit better electronics, more decals, different colored paint, the packaging was changing a little bit, so they had to up the price. And these ships were not as cheap as they might have been back in 1977 with the original X-Wing or the original TIE Fighter.
Okay. I don't think many people have seen that since they first got theirs, probably. Wow.
Got some decals in here.
Oh, and that door that goes down and everything. This just totally brings back memories for...
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's other people who... Now, do you ever come down here and actually play with these toys? I mean, ever, do anything like that? Or?
Not really, no. I go through and I dust a lot of the stuff. I'll make sure that there's, nothing has been missing. Nobody's, picked up anything or, taken anything away. But I really don't come down here and look at these things as far as the toys go. I'll come down and look at some of the other parts of my collection, but... Pick out a few other things.
Yeah,
this is a tri-logo card. Again, since my toys are on this side, this is called a tri-logo card because it has the Star Wars logo in English, in French, and also in Spanish. So this is a example of a tri-logo. It also has the description of the figure in all 3 languages in the back. So that's what a typical Star Wars figure would look like from Canada, or over in England or Germany, France. so they could have the same figure available. They wouldn't have to make it in so many different languages. So that's what that would be called.
That's cool.
This was an exclusive figure that you could only get at the Star Wars Celebration in Indianapolis in May of 2003, excuse me. And it's called Commander George Sackle. Well, Sackle is actually Lucas, spelled backwards. So if you take his helmet off, it's actually a figure of George Lucas. They made a figure of him and actually put him in a costume. And then this was a action figure that you could only get at the premiere of the Star Wars Special Edition Return of the Jedi. And it has the date on the bottom. Came out March 7th, 1997. So on that day, about the first 50 people through the line got this action figure. And these are all very highly collectible and highly prized for Star Wars collectors. That's why I have them still in the package and then under the plastic. I told you about the
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong figures. A lot of these other ones were exclusives. The 12-inch Dewback was exclusive just for Toys R Us. Again, when they call it an exclusive, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're limited to a certain number, but it was exclusive just to that particular store. They didn't sell very well because they were very expensive, and they took up a lot of room. They lowered the price later because they weren't selling all that well. Another thing that collectors were kind of a little bit disappointed about this figure and some of the other exclusive figures is that the packaging was not made all that well. The packaging crushed on the top because they were so heavy. And a lot of these action figures that you see, and this particular one as well, it's a little bit pushed in on the top. And of course, you know, that kind of upsets collectors when you're spending $85 on an action figure and the packaging is not in mint condition. A lot of people kind of frown upon that.